welcome to Ikate's Crossing as we continue with He's Just Not That Into You. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at, I'm going to use the Hand Me That Pencil, Songs of My Heart Oracle deck. Let's have a look and see what card are we going to focus on today. I accept rebirth. I understand endings and beginnings. My heart is calm through life's cycles. Okay, what we're going to read about today is he's just not that into you if he's breaking up with you. I don't want to go out with you means just that. Everyone wants to be loved and needed, particularly by a person who just broke up with us. I understand. What could be better than hearing from the man who just told you he didn't want you in his life anymore? His sad, wistful, I miss you so much voice on the other end of the phone. It's validating, it's exciting, it's irresistible. But resist you must. If he's not calling you to tell you he hired a U-Haul to come pick up all your stuff and move it back into his house, then consider yourself a nice, downy little pillow, cushioning him from his feelings of loneliness and loss that he's not fully ready to deal with on his own. The "but he misses me" excuse. Dear Greg, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 2 years, living together for 1. We started fighting and having all sorts of problems. He broke up with me 3 weeks ago and I moved out. Of course, I'm devastated. The thing is, he calls me all the time. He wants to chat. He asks about my friends and wants to know how my family is. He likes to keep up with the little details of my life, just as if we were going out. My friends all say I should stop talking to him, but I think he misses me, and I like that. I miss him. I feel if I stay in touch with him, it will remind him of how great I am, and eventually he'll realize that we should be together again. What do you think? Brenda. Dear misty water-coloured memories. So glad he likes to keep up with the way you were. Who doesn't need another phone pal? Especially since you have a new phone and a new apartment. Put him on hold and listen to me, Missy. A man who wants to make a relationship work will move mountains to keep the woman he loves. If he's not calling you to tell you he loves you and wants you back, it should only be because he's showing up at your new residence to do it in person. If he's not trying to romance your socks off with dates, flowers, and poetry, it should only be because he's too engrossed with his couples counselling workbooks and is prioritising getting back on the right track. If he's not doing any of that, he may love you, he may miss you, but ultimately, he's just not that into you. Stop taking his calls and let him really know what it's like to live without you. Don't be flattered that he misses you. He should miss you. You're deeply missable. However, he's still the same person who just broke up with you. Remember, the only reason he can miss you is because he's choosing every day not to be with you. But it really takes the pressure off us excuse. Dear Greg, I was seeing a guy for about a month. He broke up with me, saying that he didn't feel like it could be something serious. I understood, and it took it well. He wanted to know if we could still hang out as friends. I said sure. Now we just get together and go out and then come back to his place and have sex, just like we did before. But now we've broken up. He's really, really cute, and I love having sex with him. I also think he must like me if he can't stop being around me, and I think it's kind of cool. All the pressure's off, and we're having a great time together. I've decided that I think it's fine, and I'm not going to call his attention to the fact that we're actually dating, except for the fact that we broke up. Cheryl Lynn. Dear, breaking up is easy to do. My God, this guy is brilliant. He goes out with you, dates you, breaks up with you, then continues to sleep with you, which basically absolves him of all responsibility towards your feelings. After all, you're not going out anymore. It's genius. It's diabolical. He should be writing a book, not us. In fact, I bet this guy could get his own little cult going if he wanted to, and let me guess, you'd be happy to sign up for that as well. For the record, this guy doesn't like you as much as he can't stop being around you, because here's what guys don't do if they can't live without you. They don't break up with you. This guy is so seriously not into you, it's crazy. The only way you're going to figure out how into you are is how fast you get rid of him. It's very tempting when you really want to be with someone to settle for much, much less. Even a vague, pathetic facsimile of less than you would ever imagine. Ladies, please keep your eye on the prize. Remember always what you set out to get, and please don't settle for less. If you can't do it for you, do it for everyone else. These guys are able to exist because there are a lot of women out there who allow them to. But everyone is doing it. Excuse. Dear Greg, yes, breakup sex has been hot, emotional, amazing. I'm tortured and I love him and I can't stop myself. I thought that you were allowed breakup sex, but now I'm in over my head. Help, Eileen. Dear, if you know better why you're still at his apartment, hey girl, put down the penis. Excuse the language. Put your clothes back on and go directly to your best friend's house. Do not find an excuse to stay. Do not think that because of all the crazy hotness of it all, it now means that you're meant to be together. Yes, breakup sex seems like a good idea because, hey, it's nice to have sex with someone you know and it's nice to have sex with someone you have all these dramatic feelings about. It makes it all well dramatic, but now you know. It confuses everything and makes you feel like crap. Because face it, you're a woman and women can't separate sex and emotions. How many times will you make me have to say that I sound like such a jerk? So now you don't ever have to make that mistake again. Got it? He's not into you. He's not. He's into the very bad idea that masquerades as a good idea. Break up sex over and out. Don't underestimate the power of sex, even with someone you've been doing it with for a long time, especially with someone you've been doing it with for a very long time. Especially breaking up means not seeing them again, which also implies not seeing them naked again. It may be tempting to forget this pearl of wisdom, but just remember it's called break up sex. No one has yet to rename it. Oh my God, the sex was so good. We got back together again and lived happily ever after sex. The buddy wants to get back together excuse. Dear Greg, I have a boyfriend who keeps breaking up with me. He also keeps calling me and begging me to get back together with him, each time telling me that he misses me so much and has made a terrible mistake. He's done this 3 times now, every 6 months. I hate it, but I keep taking him back because I love him. I keep telling myself that he must be really into me if he keeps coming back, right? Christina. Dear Yo-Yo Champion, funny how you notice how many times your dude comes crawling back to you, while I notice how many times he's told you that he doesn't ever want to see you again. For both of us, the number is 3, but I'll put the money down that the breakup count isn't over yet, because sadly, this is what that guy is doing during your relationship recess. He's sniffing around for something better, and when he doesn't find it, he gets lonely and comes home. It's not that he's so into you, it's that he's not so into being alone. Don't give him the chance to break up with you for the 4th time. God, even the idea of it sounds beneath you, doesn't it? Reset your breakup maximum to 1 and move on. Deciding to get back together with someone is a complicated and difficult decision. Just remember that the person you're getting back together with is the same person who long before looked you in your beautiful face, took full stock of you and all your qualities, and told you that he was no longer in need of your company. If aliens haven't recently abducted your beloved and switched his brain for the brain of a guy who's really into you, please consider the option that the bum maybe just got a little lonely. The "but I'm so damn nice" excuse. Dear Greg, my boyfriend and I broke up a week ago. He broke up with me. He's going out of town to see his mother who's having an operation, and I volunteered to take care of his 2 cats who I love. He accepted. I think he was really impressed and touched that I'm handling it so well. My friends think I'm a wimp, but I think they're being small. We've been together for 3 years. It's not like I'm suddenly not going to care about him and all his cats who are adorable. Dana. Dear cat lady, don't even try it. I'm into you. I'm onto you. If he hasn't figured out that after 3 years that you're the woman that will make his life heaven right here on earth, a couple of tins of cat food aren't going to do the trick. So how about when he returns from helping his mother with her operation, you surgically remove him from your life, hand over his house keys and the number of the pet boarding place that has the nicest ad in the yellow pages. Doing anything above and beyond those measures won't reinstate you as his girlfriend. It will make you his maid. Don't confuse being classy with being a doormat. Classy is walking away with your head held high, graciously and with dignity. Being a doormat is offering to drive him to the dentist for his root canal. I do not accept his breakup excuse. Dear Greg, okay, so my music video boyfriend dumped me because he's an asshole, but now I have some of his stuff in my apartment and I'm not going to give it back because I know he's going to change his mind. And I keep calling him to try to get him to change his mind, which I know he will because I know he really loves me. And he doesn't mean this, but all he wants is a stupid Palm Pilot back. The guy doesn't say all the nice things he said to me and take me to all the cool parties he took me to and introduce me to all his cool friends and then just suddenly change his mind. People don't just totally like someone one day, then wake up and not want to be with them the next. I'm so completely devastated because I really loved him. You might not believe me, Greg, but I really did love him, and I loved being with him, and now I can't even get out of bed because I've been crying so much. He's just in a bad mood, and I'm not going to believe him, Nikki. Dear Nikki, I'm sorry you got dumped. Can't say I didn't see it coming, but now's not the time to gloat. What you need to do immediately is turn down the psychotic. Calling him incessantly and holding his stuff ransom is really no way to win a man back. In fact, it's the best way to elicit the "what did I ever see in that psycho bitch" response. Whatever happened to that super confident, strong-willed woman? Has she been reduced to a groveling lunatic? No, she hasn't, so cut it out, Nikki. Sometimes people change their minds. Sometimes they meet someone else, sometimes they get sober. He was drinking excessively, and sometimes he was just a jerk who you're lucky to be rid of. Not that I was judging. It doesn't matter because you cannot change his mind. Oh, Nikki, please behave. Because what will really haunt you later is not losing the excessive drinker who didn't ever want to get married and was too busy and self-important for you, but how you behaved during the breakup, I swear. One simple rule, ladies. Always be classy, never be crazy. Okay, actually it's two simple rules, but trust me, you will never be sad you followed them. If for no other reason, it will ensure that you never have that awful memory of cutting his clothes in half or dumping his dog on the side of the road. It's so simple. A guy says he doesn't want to be with you. Sometimes that guy realizes he made the biggest mistake of his life, and then sometimes he doesn't. Either way, your only job is to move on with your life and fast. He can always try to chase you down as you're running down the block. If he does, just remember that it will sound like this: let's get back together, let's go into counseling, let's try again, I missed you, I made a mistake, I want to be with you. Here's what it won't sound like: will you walk my dog? Just calling to check in. Want to see that movie? Will you go to the cousin George's wedding with me? Here's What's Hard About This One by Liz. Oh, I don't know how about loving someone and being with them and knowing their family and friends in every inch of their body and seeing them naked every day and never having felt this way before and feeling like your whole life has changed for the better and compiling hours and days and weeks of happy memories and thinking you'll spend the rest of your life together and then finding out that, in fact, he doesn't even want to see you tomorrow. And so it is so wrong to wait around looking for a glimmer, a ray, a sign of hope from him. Perhaps he has second thoughts about it, that perhaps he has come to his senses and realized you were the best thing that ever happened to him, that no one will ever be as good to him as you were, that he won't find anyone who he can connect with on such a deep and profound level, and who understands him as much as you do. Is that so wrong? It is so wrong to continue to talk to him, see him, bake him cookies, buy him presents, burn him CDs, feed his fish, talk to his parents, call up his friends, break into his voicemail. Just kidding. But seriously, it is so wrong to handle a breakup in a classy, mature, loving fashion manner where you can keep in contact and talk and remain friendly and perhaps go to the movies on occasion. And would it be so terrible if perhaps the byproduct of this classy, mature behavior is that he comes to his senses and realizes that you were the best thing that ever happened to him? Would that be so terrible? I don't think so. I think it's a smart, scrappy plan that shows a fine combination of wile and maturity. I can't believe that in the history of mankind and breakups it's never worked. What is wrong with these men? Fine breakups, I've heard, are supposed to be just that, breaks. Hard, clean breaks. No talking, no seeing, no touching. Keep your hands to yourself. The relationship is over. Half the people I know move after a huge breakup, and frankly, that makes perfect sense to me. Again, for the most part, we kind of know this. You're not supposed to sleep with a guy who just broke your heart a week ago. Fine. But what are we supposed to do instead? How are we going to fill our time if we're not trying to win him back? Well, we keep trying to convince our friends that we're really not, huh? Fine. Next time I'm in this situation, I'll cry, stay in bed and wail, go to the gym if I can, call all my friends and burden them with my misery, sleep too much, cry some more, see my therapist more often, get a puppy, do whatever I have to so eventually I can move on. Fine, have it your way, Greg. I still think my way could work. This is what it should look like by Liz. I know a couple who dated for many years and then broke up. They had a lot of mutual friends and everyone took it very hard. 5 years later, they got back together again and are now happily married. During the time apart, there were no dates, no phone calls, or being chums. They didn't torture, confuse, or hurt each other in the process. They moved on with their lives, grew up separately, and only then realized much later that they could be together again. Greg, I get it, by Kelly, age 26. Recently, I told my ex-boyfriend that I started dating someone. We'd been broken up for 6 months. Now I can't get rid of him. He calls me, reminds me I have to pick up mail, asks me to go to the movies. I'm not going to lie, I love the attention, but guess what? I now understand that none of it is real. He's not asking to get back together with me, he's just jealous. His behaviour might at one time in my life given me hope, but now it just makes me laugh. Men are so obvious. If you don't believe Greg, 100% of men polled said that when they broke up with someone, it always meant that they didn't want to go out with them anymore. One guy asked, how can you have a great breakup sex if you don't break up? Don't go out with this guy. What you should have learned in this chapter, you can't talk your way out of a breakup. It's not for discussion. A breakup is a definite action, not a democratic one. Breakup sex still means you're broken up. Cut him off, let him miss you. He doesn't need to be reminded that you're great. He can take care of his cat. Classy doesn't break into his answering machine. There's a guy out there who's going to be really happy that you didn't get back together with your crappy ex-boyfriend. So, okay, one super good, really helpful workbook. Hey, hot stuff. Can't wait till you get over that guy you were with. He sounds like a real jerk. Hope it's soon. You're way too tasty to be alone for too long. Come find me. I'm out here waiting. Your future. Okay, that's it for today. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care. Blessed be.